Yeah, sure. Well, thanks. So we're real glad to be a part of the show and be a sponsor. Real excited about the opportunities. Gray Gray has been around for almost 75 years and has always worked with a lot of family-owned businesses, privately held businesses, working with them on not just their accounting and tax, but helping them look at the numbers and other business consulting. And so this is just another way that we can share our experience and our knowledge with the public, which we're looking to do. So we're real excited to be here.
That's great, and we find that obviously you can't have a business without cash flow. So this is quite helpful. So Richard, you want to tell us a little bit about FASB? What's going on?
Yeah, there's some exciting developments for privately held companies in the last month or so. So for many years now, there's been this talk of big gap versus little gap, and until recently, there's really one set of gap, and it applies to all companies, whether they're publicly held companies filing the SEC or a small business, right here in Needham. And there's been talk about trying to come up with a separate set of rules for the privately owned companies, and there's been a lot of talk about it, but until recently there really hasn't been a lot of action. But there were some proposals out there in 2013 and in January of 2014. For the first time, we had some pronouncements that allowed for different accounting treatment for privately held companies. So I think it's a big win for private companies, and I think we're going to see more of that. It's what happened with GAAP when they were trying to appeal to the public companies and protect the investors. It got very complicated and costly to implement. And those same rules were being passed down to the smaller privately owned companies who just couldn't afford the compliance or oftentimes didn't have the technical expertise in-house to do the compliance, and so it was a big burden. So now they've changed the rules, and there's some other ways for private companies to handle the accounting, which I think is a great thing.
So let's assume I have a